Why do I have this song from the mountain climber from The Price is Right in my head? The world may never know. Hi everyone, it's Misty here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, in today's video, I have another kind of chopping block video. I honestly cannot remember what I titled this video before, but basically every month I'm doing a No Pan Left Behind. So I am working through all of my eyeshadow palettes. The goal is to touch every single eyeshadow, and then I decide on my feelings, if it's something that I want to keep, if it's something I feel like I want to declutter. When I say declutter, if it's not too old, I mean sending to Project Beauty Share. So yeah, let's just get started. I have a pretty good basket here. So let me go ahead and pull these out. If you're wondering what's on my eyes, I actually use the Profusion Wonderlust palette. It is in my deck of panning. So I have these two shades. So this is the one that's in my deck of painting, and then this is what I have on the inner corner. Then I used the Profusion Emeralds palette. I used a couple of mattes, actually. I used these two mattes to blend it out. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm doing a project called No Pan Left Behind. So basically, I use a roulette wheel, I roll in the palettes that I'm gonna work on, I use every single eyeshadow at least one time, and then I decide if it's something that I'm gonna keep or something that's gonna go. So let's start with kind of the ones that have been in this basket the longest. Okay, so for the first palette we're gonna talk about, this is Juvia's Place de Berries. I ended up doing a look with all 6 shadows on the same eye look. Turned out beautifully. That is now my profile picture on Facebook because I enjoyed it so much. Plus I was a little thinner because I was fasting. I need to get back on that train, but that's a story for a different day and a different channel. But yeah, so I love this color palette. I love these shadows, so this is definitely here to stay. Next, we have the Revolution Megastar Diamond Edition. And this was their holiday palette. It's very kind of a cool toned, bright, warm tone palette. And this is being decluttered. I didn't even go ahead and use the entire palette. I had such a hard time with some of these shimmers. Like, I just couldn't get them to show up. But I know if someone has a little bit of glitter glue and some patience, they can get this to work. It's not something that I'm going to keep in my collection. I don't think it's bad enough that it needs to go like in the trash. It's absolute garbage. The mattes are pretty good. Some of the shimmers are really, really pretty. So this is definitely one that's going to Project Beauty Share, and I hope someone gets some use out of it. So here is the BH Cosmetics Foiled Eyes palette. You can see that this one is very, very old. This is one of the very first palettes I bought from them 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And I used every single shadow in this palette, and I love the foils in here. As of right now, I'm keeping this. It's too, like, I would not send this Project Beauty Share. It's way too old for that. I do have some other great shimmers in some palettes, but one of the things that I'm considering doing is once I get done with some palettes and I decide to keep them, I may start turning them into singles. I haven't decided yet, but if this would be one of the palettes that I would completely do that for. I really love it. I mean, some of these colors are they were just so pretty on the eyes, and I really enjoyed it. So this one is definitely staying. Staying on the BH Cosmetic train, I've been using these Sweet Shop palettes. These are fantastic. These are absolutely staying. I've got Pistachio. I've got Cherry on top. My only complaint with this one is that all of my looks turned out pink. None of them turned out red. But again, a really pretty color palette. I still have the blue and the purple in my No Pan Left Behind project. I just haven't been in the mood to wear purple or blue, but we'll get there. Like, I've been in a green mood, like a grungy green mood. I almost used my Sydney Grace singles today. You would have seen that in a video, I think, already. But I dropped them, and several of them shattered. One of them just completely shattered apart, and I put it back together. not realizing that I was also mixing in other colors. So I should go back and say, I did purchase a replacement of that shadow. So that is the one thing I did purchase, but I didn't purchase like the entire store or anything like that. So that is coming. But anyway, I've been in like this greeny mood, and I think it just makes my black eyes pop. But anyway, that's enough vanity right now, Misty. So the next is this Protege palette from Suva. This is nice. I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this into the trash. This is old. Like, I got it in Boxes Charm, like, I don't know, four or so years ago. So it's not something that I feel comfortable with passing on. These shades are all right. They're just not, like, I have other shades that are pretty good, and this is not a palette that I find myself reaching for. So this one is going to be a complete declutter. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and declutter this one to the garbage. Next we have the ColourPop Equinox palette. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is my color story. This is like if I had to wear one color story for the rest of my life, it would be something similar to this, neutral, I mean. I love these mauve-y kind of purpley shades, but I don't like this palette. These mattes are not the same as like the ColourPop mattes. This one especially, so much kick up in the pan. This one I couldn't even get to show up. This one, while it looks really kind of cool tone brown, really got, like, it just became a whole different color on my eyeballs, and you can barely see it. So, I mean, look at that. That doesn't look nothing like it does in the palette. So, I hate that this didn't work out for me because, again, I love this color story, but they're not so awful that someone won't be able to use them. And also, I have a lot of these colors in the Stone Cold Fox palette. So I'm not going to be sad to let this go. I am a little on the quality of some of the mattes, but there are 5 shimmers, a sequin, so like a matte with the sequin, like the shimmer in it. I think someone could really get use out of the shimmers. And again, if I didn't have the Stone Cold Fox palette, I would keep this and just take the shimmers out. But I think I want to send this to someone who will actually get some use out of it. And this would make a really good neutral tone, go into a job interview, something like that kind of palette. So I'm happy to pass that on. And then last but not least is this one. This is the Forever Flawless from Makeup Revolution. Looks like this. I'm gonna donate this one too. So some of these shimmers are beautiful. Like this pink right here is kind of like a super shock. This pressed glitter is really pretty. You've got a couple of other shimmers that are really pretty, but you've got a couple that don't show up at all. They won't pick up on a brush. I really couldn't get them to pick up on my finger. Well, now they're picking up on my finger. But they just don't go on the eye very well. And a couple of the mattes don't either. I did, like I said, I think I did 2 or 3 eye looks with this one in the video where I showcased this on my No Pen Left Behind. So I did get some use out of it. And most of these palettes are really good. Like this is some of the top formulas that Makeup Revolution offers. So it's a beautiful palette. Again, it is a color scheme I have. This reminds me of the Sweet Talk palette from ColourPop. So I'm not missing out on any of these colors. I've got some glitters. Like this glitter is basically the Poet glitter, I think, in the Tati Beauty palette. So I am going to go ahead and send this on to Project Beauty Share. And this is like, I think I just got this one like earlier in the year. So yeah. So that's it. I'm saving 4 palettes, and 4 palettes are being decluttered or donated. So yeah, so again, I think these BH ones are fantastic. They are still available. They don't put them on sale because they're so popular. This one, it's not, but you obviously don't need this if you're picking up the shimmer in these. And I really enjoy these Juvia's Place 6-pan palettes. I encourage you to sign up for their newsletter if you're someone who is shopping, and wait until they go on sale, because the full price, I think they're $12, but I've seen them as low as like $5 on Juvia's Place. I don't ever see them on sale at Ulta. But at Juvia's Place, you can get these hella cheap. That's true for all of their eyeshadow palettes. So yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this this video. Like I said, I'm working my way through all of my eyeshadow palettes this year. Hopefully, maybe, hopefully, maybe. And I want to make sure that I'm passing on things that I just don't love but are useful, and that I'm, you know, putting aside the things that I know I love. It's a color story I want to use. It's a formula that's really good. And yeah, this is the way I'm decluttering. Instead of doing one big mass, you know, decluttering, I want to make sure that I'm putting good use to what I have. So yeah, that's everything. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me. I will have a playlist down below of my No Pan Left Behind. If I forget, it will at least be on the end screen. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you that have subscribed. You like the videos. You leave me kind comments. I really do appreciate it. It's really hard in YouTube, I think, for anybody to gain traction, but I think it's doubly hard for people who are plus size. So yeah, for those of you who have stuck around and listened to me jabber and everything, I really do appreciate you. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.